still very much feel like a fraud some days. There are still voices in my head that come up and say that, who do you think you are? And this is, when I used to do brand building workshops in Gurgaon, and people would pay. I mean, it wasn't exactly cheap. And people would pay and come for those workshops, and they would give like great feedback. And I had one-on-one consulting clients who would book calls with me and stuff. And it's like I have evidence that, I mean, I have been an independent photographer slash blogger slash influencer, whatever, for more than 20 years. I don't come from, I come from like a middle class family in India. My dad was in the army, and I didn't have any like connections, even in the family. No one really knew anyone in that sense. Like it was just mom, dad, me, and my sister. And it was just things I wanted to do, and I went after them and I did those things. But even now, even though I've done that for 20 years pretty successfully, I still have that voice in my head which is like, who do you think you are? Like, I want to launch consulting calls and workshops here in Adelaide. And I have been thinking about that for the last, few days, like seriously contemplating it. And it's like, but why will someone come to your workshop? You're irrelevant. You're 45. Nobody, like, do you think that they'll trust you to tell them what's new and what actually works? And it's all this has been coming up for me. And I just want to say that, yeah, it happens to all of us. It's what choice do you make regardless of that is where the rubber hits the road, essentially. I know I have value that I can add in someone's life, and I know I have done that for me. Like, I mean, just basic stuff like in the last 20 years when I was in India, I've borrowed money from my parents once. And that was early in my career because I wasn't being able to pay rent, and I was with a partner, and they didn't have a job. And I was like, I will return this money to you. It wasn't a lot. I think it was 50,000 rupees, Indian rupees. And my dad sent it to me. And again, this is not, 50,000 rupees wasn't just laying around. Like they had to consider it. And they still sent it to me. And I think in 2, 3 months, I had made that money and I returned it to them. And I've pretty much been independent. I've supported all my partners. It's not been the other way around financially. Again, a choice I made. I'm not complaining about it. And that changed a bit after moving to Adelaide, because even though I have some little bit of investment and savings, I have run out of those. And I have asked my parents to send me money twice within the last year and a half that I've been here. Now, I know a lot of us judge ourselves or judge other people based on that. Like, oh, if you ask money from your parents, then you are privileged. And yes, I am. I am able to do that. And I know a lot of people are not able to do that. But it still feels like, oh, so that means, you are not capable. And it happens. These are thoughts. If you choose to believe those thoughts, then that is what your reality will reflect. And I choose to believe that, yes, when I need the money, I have someone I can go to and ask, for the most part, because, Indian parents. And I also know that I am capable of returning that money to them. I know I will. And thankfully, they are in a slightly more comfortable position where they don't really have to be like, oh, we have to sit and think about this. So yeah, that's happened twice here. And I'm just saying that everyone has doubts and self-doubts. And it's not, the important thing is to move past that, to move beyond that. And I've always had this quiet kind of self-confidence within myself where I'm like, ho jayega, I'll do this. Of course I can do it. I've done it so many times. The last 4, 5 years have been hard because I kind of lost that. I did come to a point where I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But it seems to have come back in 2026 when now I'm like, yes, I can do this. I am doing it. Like I know I'm doing it. And it's been fascinating. It really has been fascinating, the inward journey. And I struggle with it every day. The thoughts, I practice every day not to identify myself with my thoughts. And it's a daily practice. And I know things are changing internally, but I just I just wanted to say that, you're not alone. Like, you're not the only one who goes through stuff like this. We all do. I know not everyone talks about it. So I thought I'll talk about it because, why not?